Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? Well, it's just me and the dogs. Alex is doing a little bit of last minute Christmas shopping right now. And Boo Radley is over here laying on the comfort blanket. And so if you guys don't know what these comfort blankets, they're so sweet. Let me show you what they look like really quickly. See, they're like these crocheted blankets. And when our dog Pee-Pee passed away, Jennifer, who, I don't know if she still does, but she watched my channels back then. She sent us 2 of them. One for Boo Radley and one for Tucker. And it is so sweet. They still love them to this day. It's funny because Boo Radley rarely lays on the comfort blanket. It's always Tucker that does. And so, but they love those blankets. And, but isn't that so sweet? Look at little Boo Radley just laying on it. And it's just like this sweet. I don't know what she did. I don't know if she crocheted love and compassion and kindness into the blanket, but I like to think so. But anyway, I'm waiting for Alex to get done shopping at the mall. He keeps on texting me and asking me like specific things about gifts. And I'm like, you're basically telling me everything that I'm getting for Christmas, which I'm like, that's not the point, you know? But it cracks me up anyway. So I wanted to get on here today, not for any real specific reason. I'm sitting here and I'm looking at my sobriety coin that I got last night. So I went to my home group meeting last night and my sponsor gave me my 27-year sobriety coin. And then afterwards we went out to dinner with my best friend, Tanya, and our sponsor, and a couple of our other friends. And we were like opening Christmas presents and, you know, sitting there eating and laughing and telling stories. And, oh, now Tucker's on the comfort blanket. Look at that. I always lay it on the bed. I usually lay it on this side in between, kind of like in between Alex and I at night, and Tucker usually sleeps on it. Boo Radley is now. He is right there on the bed. Hi, Boo Radley. Can you say hello? Boo. Boo. Hey, you want to say hi to everybody? He said, hello, everybody. But anyway, so I was sitting here and I was getting ready to like feed the dogs their dinner and all that kind of stuff. And I was uploading some videos on my other channels. And I was sitting here and I was thinking about last night and just what a great time that I had. And, you know, there was like a moment when I was sitting there. I don't know why I can't get this camera just to do what I wanted to do tonight. There was a moment when I was sitting there last night and I just felt such immense gratitude for my life. And I mean, I have those moments often, you know, and I think it's funny because people will come to my channel, like when I do Q&As and whatever, and they'll always say like, how do you stay so positive all the time? Or, you know, like, how do you always stay so happy? And I'm like, well, I'm not all the time. Like, I wake up often and like on the wrong side of the bed, so to speak. And, you know, but what I do have today is I have a set of tools and skills to, like, in a toolbox, so to speak, you know, this ethereal toolbox to get me out of that mood. And like one of the things that I do is, you know, I make gratitude lists. I write gratitude lists out, or I do like, you know, gratitude lists in my head, or I say them out loud and I speak them into the universe and things like that. And I often even like do gratitude lists, paying it forward in gratitude, kind of. That was something that I learned from the motivational speaker Melody Beatty. She talks about paying it forward with gratitude. And if like, you know, there's something that you're not grateful for, if like, you know, let's say if you're struggling in your relationship or your marriage, you know, and that you say, you know, I'm grateful for this marriage, even though maybe you don't feel it in your heart of hearts, like it gets you, it kind of prepares you for better things. So anyway, I just have been like so full of gratitude just in the last week. I think it's always like right after my sobriety birthday, right around that, I just feel so incredibly grateful. But I also think that Christmas and New Year's and all of that lends to a time to reflect on the past year. And I just have had such an amazing year. You know, I was really thinking about just all of the great times that I had in the last year, the big ones, the small ones, all of it. You know, I've really had some just miraculous times in the last year. And this channel has become something that I have just so fallen in love with. And you guys have been so accepting of it. And, you know, I've said this on my Peterisms channel, and I've said this on my vlog, but I wanted to say it over here because I think, like, you know, I did this video the other day when I talked about the most valuable lessons that I learned in the last year, and I talked about like 5 of those lessons. But one of the things that has really occurred to me in the last year or two, and I think if we all started looking at the world this way, and it's I still have to like force myself on a daily basis to see it this way. If we started looking at the world this way, I think we would maybe make different choices, and our choices would probably affect our attitudes about people and about the world as well. And what that is that, you know, I don't know what happened, but one day I was just sitting there and I was like, there was something that I was supposed to be doing. I can't remember what it was. Something that I had to do and I didn't want to do is what it was. And I was like convincing myself to go do this thing. And it wasn't like a suit up, show up moment, because I think those are different. I think like funerals, weddings, birthday parties, like those are all like suit up and show up moments that we should be present for, you know, and we should be honored and feel the privilege that people invite us into their lives, right? But it wasn't a situation like that. I can't remember what it was. It was something that like I didn't want to do, but I had to do. Like we all, you know, have those kind of like burdens of life kind of thing. And I was sitting there thinking about it, and I was like, you know, it's interesting when you really break down the day, and you only have so many, like, hours in the day, so many wakeable hours in the day, and then you break that down to minutes of being that there's only, I mean, this is not a genius idea, right? But that there's only 60 minutes in every hour, and that, you know, there's, you know, 60 seconds to every minute. So when you're sitting there and you're having a telephone call, and at the end you get off of it and you look at it and it says like 14 minutes and 22 seconds, or, you know, you go out to dinner with somebody and you sit there for, you know, an hour and a half, 2 hours, or, you know, whatever it is that we do. Like, you know, when we work for 40 hours a week, I mean, this was an idea that I used to think about regularly back in the day. I'm like, I'm working 40 to 60 hours a week. I'm spending more time with the people that because I felt very blessed. I was so blessed that I got to work with people that I considered close friends for many, many years. And I just feel very blessed about that. But we spend 40 to 60 hours a week, you know, maybe some people maybe more, with people that are not even, we spend more time with our coworkers than we do with, if we go work someplace, than we do our friends and family, you know? And so if we're working someplace where we don't enjoy what we're doing and we don't enjoy the people that we work with, we're really giving our time to some, I mean, it's sad. And we have to do that, right? To pay the bills and things like that. But, you know, we give so much of our time, and there's a lot of our time that we have to give, but we give so much of our time away to people in our lives, you know, literally by just telephone calls that we have, or dinners that we have, or lunches that we have, or, you know, like when I think about, I like, okay, this is like one of my biggest pet peeves is like, I will get on, I hate Facebook, okay? And part of the reason why I hate it, I think it's kind of become this joke when people watch my videos and I say like, Facebook's of the devil and whatever, but part of what I don't like about Facebook is that I'll get on there, it's a good thing I don't have my phone with me because I can prove a point, is I'll get on there and I'll see somebody post something that I haven't seen for a while, and then I'll go to their Facebook page, and I mean, and this is maybe somebody that like I didn't even have a lot of interactions with anyway, like maybe somebody I went to high school with that I don't even remember very well, right? Or maybe somebody that I used to go out to the bars with and we were never really that close, but I'll be like, oh, what's she doing? And then I go in and I start looking at her pictures and I'm like, oh, she's married now, oh, her kids are cute, oh, where did she go on vacation? I'm looking at all that kind of stuff. And then there'll be a picture of her with somebody else. I'm like, oh, I used to go out with her too. She was fun. Like, what happened to her? And then I'll go over to this gal's Facebook post. I mean, I think we've all done it, right? And before I know it, I look up and 45 minutes have gone by. When I got sober, I decided that I no longer wanted to waste time in my life. I wanted to be enjoying my life. I wanted to be spending my life doing things that were important to me, right? And there were things that I had to do, like work a job, that I couldn't just say, I don't want to spend my time doing these things. I mean, we have to pay bills, right? So I had to spend time with my mom. I loved my mom, but there were many nights that I didn't want to spend time with my mom, that I would have rather been with my friends dancing in a club. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so there are going to be things in life that we have to do that we don't want to do, but the rest of that time, the rest of it, of what's left to us, You know, that is ours to do with. Why are we wasting it and just giving it away to people and situations and things like Facebook that just don't matter? They really don't. I said to my husband the other day, I said, I sat here, I mean, seriously, you guys, it had been like an hour and a half, and I scrolled through and I was looking through Facebook and whatever. It's like my husband, like, he does this with TikTok, but he really enjoys TikTok. Like, he gains enjoyment. Like, if you said to him, does it bother you that you give like 2 hours of your night, which sometimes it is that, watching TikToks, he'd say, no, it's like a form of entertainment for me. I really enjoy it. That's different, you know? But I got done looking at Facebook and I thought to myself, I have literally just wasted the last hour and a half of my life, you know? Now let me ask you a question. Would you rather spend an hour and a half of your life looking at Facebook, or would you rather spend an hour and a half of your life looking at this little sweet guy? Or this little sweet guy? Or spending the time with our partners, our friends, talking to them, getting to know them more than we already do. You know, and that's one of the things that I want to do going into 2022. I don't love resolutions. I love goals more, and setting achievable goals and measurable goals. And one of the things that I really want to do going forward is I want to spend less time giving my time to things that in the long run don't matter. You know, I want to, like in the last year, I have really spent so much time listening to audiobooks and whatever, and I've really enjoyed that. And, you know, I think, like, it's really important that this isn't misconstrued. I love watching television shows. I binge watched The Tiger King. I watched like 4 episodes of it last night, Tiger King 2, you know? I love television shows. I love to watch movies. I love to listen to cheesy, cozy Christmas, cozy mysteries and other kinds of cozy mysteries, you know? I love to drive around and have a fountain pop with my friend and just talk about the Real Housewives, okay? I don't personally feel, because if you ask me, and I guess you're not, but I'm going to say it, do you feel like you're wasting your time or giving your time away? I would say no, because those are things that I enjoy. Do I feel like I'm wasting my time when I scroll through Facebook about people that I don't even really care about and I don't even know that I'm ever going to see them again? Yeah, I feel like I'm wasting my time, you know? And that's why I say to people that watch my videos, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your life. You know, and I hope that I don't, you know, convince some of you to stop watching my videos. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. You know, I really appreciate that you allow me to be part of your life and that you give me time out of your day, you know, and who we give our time to is, you know, picky. I think about, you know, the fact that my mom is, you know, been gone now since 2008, and my aunt and my uncle, and, you know, but like with my mom, I think, you know, we sometimes play that game of scruples where we'll say, if I could only have like an hour left with my mom, like if I could have another hour with my mom, and I joke about this sometimes too, because I'll say, like, you know, the first 5 minutes we'd be hugging and everything, oh, I missed you, and then like the rest of the hour we'd be like arguing and having this deep discussion, which we probably would. But, you know, when you think about the opportunity to have one more hour with a loved one that has passed away and how precious that time would be, it doesn't make the idea of what I'm talking about seem so ridiculous or so funny. It really puts into perspective how important an hour is of our lives, and that if we just give it away, it's an hour we're never going to get back again. That maybe down the road, looking back, we're going to wish we had that hour again, you know? Yeah, Tucker. I don't want to look back and, you know, regret that. I also want to say I am super, super, you know, grateful for you guys. And it's interesting that somebody asked me the other day, they said, like, what's one of, like, when, I don't really think in terms of, like, views and stuff like that, but they were saying, like, of all of your channels, like, you know, like, what's something that's done really well this year, like a topic that people are talking about? And I said, you know, that's funny that you should ask me that, because probably one of my most viewed videos on all of my channels is the video that I talked about Tucker. And yes, I do believe that it has a lot to do with that thumbnail that I looked like I was very upset and I called it a sad life update. But I like to think that in the world that we live in today, that people's care and concern and compassion about a little puppy dog is content that we still are concerned about or care about, you know? And those were the things that, I don't know, it made my heart warm to know that people cared so much. And I just want to say thank you guys so much. I'm not done posting videos for the year. I'm just feeling super grateful today. And I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.